Morning! Happy Monday! Hope you've had a lovely weekend. As you can see, if I lean over, oh no, it's gone now, there. The sun's out, it's beautiful. Oh. Hi! It's gorgeous here today, like the weather is properly lovely. So I hope you had a lovely weekend and have got loads of stuff done, because I feel like I've done loads. Just checking that we're where we're supposed to be. Jade says she can see us. So all good. I couldn't see comments last week. I'm just going to open it up separately to see. But if you're on, come and say hi. We had a couple of birthday people as well, so I hope you all had happy birthdays. It was Claire's. Right, I'm here. So today we're going to do just a little chat about stress and patience. I was talking about it on whenever our networking was last Monday. Yeah, last Monday, Jay says. And I feel like we're in a bit of a situation where we're trying to chase the quick stuff again. And I'm watching women do it, and it's a fallacy that exists in business, is that there's a quick way to do things. And there are better ways, there are more automated ways, there are tools you can use, but this patience thing is becoming a bit of a epidemic, like not having any, like desperately waiting to do the next thing and then chopping and changing your mind if it doesn't work after 2 seconds. So I just want to talk a little bit around this, and I'm on a right mission today. So I had Louisa, my friend, came round, who owns a spa in Aston. If you haven't been to her spa, you should go to her spa. Has been around this morning, and we have like little co-coaching sessions, and I had one with Cheryl last Friday, so I feel like I'm all fired up and I've got loads I want to do. But my first thing that I am going to look at today, as soon as I get off of this, is a structured routine. I try to plan, I try to do a lot of organisation, but because of how my brain works, and I'll chuck ADHD in here for myself, I jump from one thing to another, and I forget about things until it's the middle of the night, and then I remember them. Or if I don't write things down, nothing happens. There are so many things I promised at times that I can fully do, but I forgot about them by the time I get home because I haven't written them down. So this idea of a structured routine, and for me that means things like, if I know I have a presentation in 2 weeks, putting a diary note in my calendar for a week and a half, 2 weeks before, to make the slides so they're done. But it's the calendar note that is the actual important thing here, not even me making the slides. It is the planning to do the stuff, because providing I'm reminded, I'm fine. If I don't have that ability of looking ahead and knowing what's coming, then I end up on that hamster wheel where I'm chasing stuff down. So a structured routine that includes dedicated work hours. I'm going to get back to being better at switching off, because that's slipped loads lately. I used to finish at 2:30 and that was that. And now I'm not, and I'm not enjoying it as much, and I don't want it to be like that. So more breaks, some leisure time. I'm going to go through my calendar and cross out some days where I'm off and I actually do things. So I want to have some sort of semblance of control and predictability, and I want to reduce my stress levels again. I feel like Tom works with me and I don't see him because I am always out. I never see him. So crossing out half days now and again to actually have a catch up with Tom about work would be really useful. So create a structured routine. Realistic goals. I was talking with Louisa again this morning, and I have huge long-term goals. I know what my long-term goal is. My short-term goals are now not as clear. Like if I talk to Jade, we haven't even got any we used to have like social media goals, etc. We haven't got any actual goals right now that we can tick off, that we're working towards, that is obvious if we're achieving them. So this realistic goals that are broken down exactly like I teach on strategy today, but I never have enough time to sit down and look at my own business. That's what's happening today. Another one, which I know the difference it makes when I am doing it, is things around mindfulness and meditation, and being able to sit for 10 minutes and focus on nothing else except just being there. It does a really cool thing to your brain. It strengthens the muscle around coming back to being in the now instead of stressing about all the future stuff. I've been much better at doing it at bedtime, so I nearly always go to sleep to a meditation now, but I'd like to put 10 minutes of it back into my day to help my well-being, to manage my stress a bit better. If you've not got the Calm app is amazing. So it's 10 minutes. You spend 10 minutes a day listening to the Daily Calm. It's freaking genius. So that's going back into my calendar. Regular breaks. This is a funny one for me because I'm not very often at my desk. So I am usually rushing around from one thing to the next, but I don't have any gaps between things. And because my days are so short, they're based around the school runs, I'm not very good at taking breaks. I never have a lunch hour, but when I start planning out my schedule, I'm going to get a lot better at this. I'm going to put more gaps in and do less work if I need to. Like, I'm in a position where that's okay. I need to stop cramming things into every gap. A new one that's come up for us then is delegating. So I've just said to Jade, do we need to hire a designer to do some of our templates, some of our lead magnets, etc. So there's a couple of people I want to reach out to. And then Jade said, yes, but if we do that, then I won't have as much to do. Bear in mind, she doesn't really like the design part. The creation's one thing, but the design's another. And then I was like, looking like I can give you shitloads of admin for stuff that I'm holding on to that I don't need to be doing. You will have loads to do, Jade, don't worry. This delegate where possible. I am really looking at how much other stuff I can get off of my plate. And the reason we don't do it, and I was talking about this with Cheryl on Friday, is because it takes longer to teach someone to do it. But once you've taught them to do it, that's it. And I know that I'm not a very good boss because I'm not very good at teaching new things and handing them over. But that's something that is on my list to get better at. And again, today is going to be a right blast day. Next one is around boundaries. So I've just talked about how I'm not very good at switching off again. Sorry, I was going to comment soon, I got distracted. Hi Faye! Insight Timer and Headspace are good for meditations too. Faye's in my bad books this morning because she keeps crashing her website even though I tell her not to. Because she's not listening to what I'm telling her. But I think maybe she has now. She's crashed it for the third time. Establishing boundaries. So defining work and personal time. I'm going to stop working in my personal time. Unless it's pre-designed. Like on a Sunday, it's lovely because sometimes I get a couple of hours to work and I enjoy it. But other times I go in the house at whatever time and I am changed to my emails of everything I've not replied to that day. I'm going to shift how it all works. Checking work emails in personal time. Oh my gosh, there is nothing that can send your stomach into a spin more than getting an email that you don't want to see or just something that pisses you off. And it can totally like absorb your, well, it change your mood. It can completely change your mood, which then affects your family time. And yeah, it's a big one, this establishing boundaries. So this is one of the other things I want you to think about. As well as creating a structured routine, stay organised. This is where these two go hand in hand for me. For other people, these might be separate issues, but for me, my calendar and my routine are absolutely key to how organised I am. So I have productivity tools, I have stuff that I use really, really well. What I don't have is the time created in my calendar to do the stuff from them. So these two stay together for me. But for other people, getting organised might mean like clear your desk, know where your stuff is. This morning, Louisa was here and I lost the, so I use Remarkable, and I lost the little nib because I sit pulling the nib out all the time and playing with it. Anyway, I lost it in my chair, but because I'm organised in that tidy way, I knew exactly where all the spare nibs were, so I came and read it immediately. That wouldn't have happened a little while ago, but in theory, like, I am quite organised and I know where stuff is. However, ask me where a digital file is, no idea, can't find that in a billion years. Ask me what I'm doing next week, no idea. Until I get there in my head to look at my calendar, I just don't know. These two for me sit together. So this is a really important thing for me to make sure that they're working well together. Oh, I've broke my thing. That's it, clearly. I thought I had another page, but I don't. Or if I do, it's broke, Jade. I think my page might broke, so I had 10 tips to tell you, and I've got down to 8. So, not stressing about that, 'cause I think 8's more than enough to go and start working with. And also make time. So, this is my thing to push on to you today. What can you be doing to actively lower your stress levels, to know what makes you stressed and to do things to completely combat it. And this bit is really important. So mine is, my stress levels are lower when I feel organised, when I feel in control. And I know we're not actually in control, like anything can happen to us at any point. But when my to-do list isn't full of the niggly little things, they do my slides for my presentation tomorrow, when it's not like that because I have already done them in advance, like all of that is the stuff that contributes to my lower stress level, along with practicing meditation of some kind. The routine, the structure, the organisation and meditation are the things that I vowed today that we are going to get back on top of. Alright, so I'll leave that with you. If you're watching, put in what's your one thing that you're going to start having a little look at. What we're doing next week before I say bye. I'll still have a Facebook Live in the morning next week, so I will see you again at this time next week, and then we're co-working at Bolsover. I think there's a couple of spaces still left maybe, but a couple have just booked on this morning, so I'll check. But if you're local, two. Jay says there's 2 spaces left, so if you want to come co-working next Monday, make sure you've booked on. It's Cheryl's event in Nottingham today. So I hope you all have a fabulous day. If you're in Pro Club, we've got co-working tomorrow afternoon online with Louise. And that's it. Mastermind for us on Wednesday. So I'm back here next Monday. If you want anything, as always, just drop me a message. All right, have a gorgeous week. I don't know if this weather's here to stay, but make the most of it because it is just, it changes your whole mood, I think. All right, ladies, have a good one. I'll talk to you soon.